Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studios in Madison, Wisconsin, you are listening to High School Hoops with our hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Steger. Hey everybody, welcome to High School Hoops, episode 30. We're going to talk this week about what to do when the season's over. Maybe just walk around aimlessly. But before we do that, I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Dish, our sponsors. They are the shooting machine. You know, the technology alone that must go into that. They must have like NASA scientists that go into the new shooting machine. It's crazy. But make sure you mention Coach Unplugged and they'll give you $300 off your next purchase. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. This is the time to do it. Stop worrying about, this is the time to say, I don't have time for this. You have time. You want to become a better coach. You want someone to help. You want the resources that will do it. You want the community that will support you. Boom. I mean, I can go through and tell you all. You should see all the Facebook. It's like people giving each other high fives after they've won a state title, or people frustrating, or people worried about like going in front of the school board. All that kind of stuff happens within our community. And that's why I love it. I do. I really love it. So go over and check it out. And let's head off to High School Hoops this week. We're going to talk about what to do in the off season. All right. Welcome to High School Hoops. I think we're on episode 30.
3-0.
30.
Yep.
I think, I know 24 was 24 or 30. I was 20 in high school. I think I had 30 at one point in college. But anyway, all right, what's this week's episode?
What do we do as coaches when the season is finally over?
We were just talking about this.
Yes.
You know what we do? We promise our wives that we're going to take them to somewhere warm. That's what I do. My deal for 20 plus years is you get spring break. So
okay.
you
My kids are 1 and 5. That's not going to happen right now.
Oh, but in a year or two that'll be fun. Beach. All they need is a beach. At that
I know. I'm pushing my daughter, and she's all about it now. She was all about Disney when she was younger. She's not really into Disney. She just wants to go to a beach.
Yeah, that age is like there's a window from like 4 to 9 where you just come on a beach and you just get a book and you just sit there and sunscreen them up, and
that's exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's the perfect break. Like when my kids are teenagers.
Yeah,
like,
they don't even want to hang out with you anymore.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. The vacation's not about them anymore.
Nope, they take care of themselves.
But yes, I think what's happening. Here's what I do. I always, after my season ends, I get ready for my banquet. Then my season's really not over till my banquet's done. When my banquet's done, then I take 2 weeks. I always take 2 weeks. I take the spring break week and another week, and I'll think about basketball and listen to podcasts like this and things like that. But I will do nothing with because I'll already had my meetings with my guys. I'll have done all of that, and as soon as all those are done, I shut off. I literally like poof. I don't think about my team. I don't think about buses. I don't think about parents. I don't think about any of that stuff. And I think you have to have a way of doing that. And I do part of that in August too, before my fall season starts, where I'll just, I go out east and I just shut off and don't think about my team and, let my assistants deal with anything that comes up. And so that's how I deal with it. There's other ways, some people run, some people, I need like I need to recharge, basically. I need to plug in the USB and charge up. And that's how I do it. I got to get away from it. Otherwise, I'm like always thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you got to have that break for a little bit, and then you start thinking of what do you do at that point? What are your focus points? And so when I looked at my notes, I said relax and rewind for a few weeks. I also like watching other coaches coach. I like watching the game, but it's so hard to watch the game now. Once you coach for so long, you watch the game and you look at something. You're like, what did they just do there? And it doesn't become as enjoyable as a spectator anymore. It becomes a science.
The thing is, that's why I don't fill out a bracket anymore for NCAA, because I just want to literally not think about the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to root for anybody. I don't want to do this. If I'm doing it, I just want to zone out, because otherwise I'm going, God, what are they running there? Oh, let me rewind that. Ooh, that looks good. Look at that helps. It's like your brain has to desensitize from watching a game as a coach and watch it as a fan, and it's really hard. So that's why I don't fill out a bracket, because otherwise I'm rooting for somebody and I'm watching what they're doing, and I have to kind of separate it. So.
The other thing would be that I think these will lead us into our questions to April,
Okay.
and then we can talk about them and
Yep.
we can reflect on them. And I think they're really good questions, and maybe other coaches can start thinking about it when we get into April, with our last podcast in March here in the next week or so. These are the two things that I think coaches, and you can chime in after I say these things, reflect on your strengths and weaknesses as a team and as a coach. I think that gives you a sense of vision of where you want to go in the next season. And then also reflect on your culture. And I think team culture is like the values, beliefs, and attitudes and behaviors shared by a team. Is it really reflecting your vision? Or are there things that you need to change for the upcoming season? I think you get those big pieces in place, and then you start getting smaller and smaller as you move forward into your next season. So,
yeah, and I think part of that rejuvenating can be a reflection.
Right.
Like, I'm just not thinking about X's and O's about what offense we can do, but I always have the teams do an exit thing, what you like, what you didn't like, all that kind of stuff. I have coaches do that and all those kind of things. So it's very similar in that, because I always want to question what I'm doing, because to be successful, I think it's always got to be little tweaks.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a scenario. Like, I just noticed that sometimes our guys don't get to practice till 5 minutes before it starts.
Right.
That says a lot, in my opinion.
It does.
The whole Lombardi time, and if the practice is at 3:00, I remember is that what I want for my program? Do I want my guys in there 10, 15 minutes early every single day? I want them to be there. Then you ask the sense of, is it the why? What's the why? Why aren't they getting there on time? Those type of things, those questions to reflect on, I think are really important. They may not seem important right now, but they are. I think as your season rolls on and you move forward, asking those questions are huge and within your culture and your belief system and your program.
And I think I think you have to ask those questions all the time, and you should be asking them during the season.
Yep.
But I think you have a better chance in the postseason to make bigger shifts in culture. You can make little ones. I quoted Lonbo time today. Somebody was literally walked in 37 seconds before film session, and I go, stop. I'm not going to use the kid's name, but stop, Johnny. You're not late, but and this is one of the youngsters I had brought up, let me explain how things work in our program. I go, 37 seconds before film session starts is late.
Yes.
It's not, but it is.
In your eyes, and the way that your vision is, maybe in their perception, that's what they see. But if they're not seeing that, then that's got to be something that you need to think about,
Right. And how you reiterate it to them, and how, and part of that becomes from leadership. Some of that's,
yes.
Some of that's like, well, this is the way we do it, and this is how we do, this is how pregame work. All those kind of things are super important as far as moving a program or moving forward. I think so. But that reflection is so important, and in anything you do.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, we do that in our parenting. We do that in everything.
But we could literally talk about these questions all podcast, but I think they're really good questions to move forward. If anybody else has any questions related to that, we can connect to those 2 questions as we talk about it later on. Yep. But again, I think they'll be great for April as people start thinking about.
They will be. And in the beginning of April, I'm going to warn everybody, the beginning of April, next week might be me on a beach. So it might be one-on-one, me on a beach, if Jake and I aren't able to get hooked up here over spring break. So just know that maybe I'll be on a fishing boat doing some reflection with all of you. So we'll see. We'll see
about your strengths and weaknesses of your coaching career. So
there we go. I'll do that.
I'm sure you'll get the most views ever.
There'll be no one. It'll be like crickets, like dead silence. All right, we'll talk soon, Coach.
All right, Coach. All right, thanks. Bye.
Hey, everybody. I hope you love that podcast. Please go over and leave a 5-star review no matter where you're listening to this. Also, if you want to give back, if you want to join if you want these podcasts to keep coming, you want us to get more guests, all of those kind of things, this allows us to do that. Go over, join teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It is a great community of like-minded coaches. It is the Netflix for basketball coaches, but what's even better than Netflix, it has our community. It has me and 30 plus years of being pretty successful at the high school level. So go over and check it out. Have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.